the beauty of this for me, again, selfishly talking, is I love a slower housing market. I love less transactions. Why? Because it makes it a hell of a lot easier for me to find out who's truly motivated, who's going to have a third price reduction, who's going to talk about seller financing when they would have never talked about it before, right? Because sometimes you have to sell, and if there's an environment where nobody else is buying, it's my price or my terms. Is our presidential election throwing cold water on the real estate market? Folks, I think the answer might be yes. We're going to have this conversation with the one and only Matt, the mortgage guy. I don't know about you, Matt, but it looks like this November election is heating up already. We have our first national debate tomorrow. And I think this is going to be one of those elections that causes people just to not do anything. They're going to pull back. They're not going to make any large financial commitments. And that means housing is going to slow down. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you look at the week on week application numbers in mortgage, rates are down. And generally speaking, when rates are down, applications go up. Applications are also down. Multiple conversations I'm having with agents, with buyers, they're more cautious than ever. And to me, it feels like, things have slowed down relatively quickly. It was only a month ago where I had buyers frustrated. 10 offers,
Right.
12 offers, they couldn't get offer accepted. And all of a sudden, it feels like I'm having more and more stories. Like yesterday, I go to a real estate meeting. One of the homes that was on the tour where all the agents go toured afterwards. Come check out this, really nice 2-bedroom, 1-bath, great neighborhood on the market for 88 days. And so there's that home. An agent I talked to yesterday who's selling a home in the neighborhood I grew up in. Great neighborhood. The house is in great shape. Third price reduction.
Oh,
Since
wow.
since they went on 45 days ago. He's trying to get in front of it. And so this stuff sparks conversation, and you think to yourself, well, what's going on? Like, rates have been flat. Rates haven't like gone up. If you go back to Q4 of 22, it made sense. Rates were at 8%. That was the thing that slowed people down. Right now, my best guess is people are, slowing down or being more cautious around buying real estate because they're uncertain. And, no matter, this isn't a politics channel, and you probably, I don't know, I like to talk politics less than anybody I know. But no matter what side you're on or which camp you're on, we don't know who the next president's going to be. We don't know what policies will be enacted by whoever that next president is. So a lot of people have uncertainty around, what's going to happen with mortgage interest rates, what's going to happen with my job, what's going to happen with a lot of things. And when you're uncertain, you don't go out there and make big decisions and big purchases. That's just the nature of human nature.
I think consumers are remarkably easy to predict, and you're absolutely right. Historically speaking, Q4 is when I like to shop for real estate. Why? Because everybody else is on vacation, simply said. I do think you're right. Whether we like it or not, the November election is important. It's going to be contentious. Roughly half of the country is going to be upset either way. And, sometimes consumers really just come down to it's too hard. It's too hard. I'm just going to wait. And I really do think we're going to see a second half transaction slowdown. We're in the beauty of this for me, again, selfishly talking, is I love a slower housing market. I love less transactions. Why? Because it makes it a hell of a lot easier for me to find out who's truly motivated, who's going to have a third price reduction, who's going to talk about seller financing when they would have never talked about it before, right? Because sometimes you have to sell. And if there's an environment where nobody else is buying, it's my price or my terms. Because the buyer really
1000%. That's what I want to inject here. If you're listening to this and you're not reading between the lines, if you're an investor and you hear slow, you hear hard, buyers pulling, like that translates to opportunity. And I'll give you specific examples, Mike. Like, I don't have to look at stats I don't have to have someone bring me a chart about days on market. I can feel it. And then the conversations that are happening are different. Yesterday, I walked through that home that was on the market for 88 days. I told the listing agent, tell me about the seller. Is it free and clear? Do they have a mortgage on it? The more we talked, I pulled out of that. Maybe they're willing to have a buyer bring a down payment and then carry back a mortgage at 4%. Because as an investor, it's an equation. It's a numbers game.
Just the
Like,
math, man.
I
It's
can
just math.
pay a different price depending on my terms. And like,
Exactly.
for someone who's creative, an investor, I'd be really, really excited. I almost put a deal together, Mike, and this is another example where I looked at a home. It's the same home that my agent buddy has had to do 3 price reductions. And I'm like, in all honesty, great house. It's in good condition. I walked it. It's in a great neighborhood. So I did the math and I said, if I put X down and your seller was willing to carry 250 at 4%, that would make this deal make sense.
Right.
Bring it to the seller. In a market like we were honestly in 2 months ago, and there was 15 offers, not even considered. In today's market, that got presented. That got discussed amongst the 3 sons and the mom. And so if you're an investor, take this as a sign to like all of the creative
do the work. Do the work.
And like it's cool if you watch Pace Morby or Ty or these guys who understand how to structure deals. There's unlimited possibilities. And you get a seller 88 days in the market, some maybe even more, like they want to sell this piece of real estate. And here's where the other lesson in here is you have to understand it well enough to explain it. Because people don't want to do something they don't understand.
Correct.
If you can explain it and say, you know what, this actually might be better from you from a tax perspective. This might be better for you because more money in the bank doesn't serve you. But what does $1,400 a month in income do for you?
Exactly.
And so I'm excited. Like those problems or equations to figure out is the fun part of real estate for a math nerd like me.
Oh, and this is the magic that I told people was coming, right? Days on market are going to go up. You're going to motivated sellers will eventually raise their hand, do the creative things. Again, right? What you're doing with this 4% offer is you're basically saying, hey, I can give you yesterday's price, but I need yesterday's interest rate. That's basically what you're doing.
Right.
Works for me all day long. And I think that's just a genius way. The other thing that I want people to realize is you brought up Ty. He has a 6-hour masterclass that's available on my school community, One Rental at a Time, for free. It's one of those bonuses that come. And also, you're hosting another Friday session. This time you'll record it, so we have replay. Mortgage questions, Q&A, bring quotes, just talk all things mortgage on Friday. So I just love that we keep giving back. I do want people to realize I'm getting excited by what's coming.
Oh, I mean, and any investor who's active should be, because 2021, you can get some great terms from a conventional standpoint, but anybody who remembers how wild and crazy it was, 30 offers, 40 offers, it was insane. You were waiving inspections. So, if there was a great deal to be had, but it might have had foundational issues, like someone was waiving the contingency and not even worrying about that. Like, that's not a fun market to operate in from a buyer's perspective. The fun market is the one where you get to make the rules. You get to go out there and say,
if you're a team buyer, you want a buyer's market. You don't want to operate in a crazy seller's market. That's not where you want to be.
Yeah. And the conversation I had with agent buddy of mine yesterday was, it's interesting in markets like we've operated in. As the buyer, you've got to sell yourself to the seller. Oh, very well qualified. We can close it in 14 days. We can do all that. In the market that we have coming, agents and their sellers are going to have to start selling themselves to buyers. Hey, we're offering 10,000. You can do a buy down. Hey, we're open to seller finance. Hey, and they're like, it's a different game. And it's great if you're a buyer because you're the pretty girl at the dance and people want to dance with you. They're going to say, what's it going to take? Do you need
Yeah.
concessions? Do you need us to carry? Whatever the case may be. So it's going to be a fun time for those that are paying attention.
Oh, I love it. Love it. What do you think you're going to talk about on Friday? You going to come with any kind of content? Talk about VA seconds, anything you're going to cover in the 1 hour school session?
I think I'm going to start with me talking about these deals that I almost put together. And inevitably, last week we had 12 or 15 on live. People are going to have questions of things they come across. And yep. I love it when people just say, I'm talking to this new build. Here's what the terms look like. And I can help walk them through. Great deal, but don't let them spend $15,000 to buy you down to here. And then you pay closing costs. Maybe they buy you down a little bit. And so helping people, whether it's an offer they already have from another lender or a builder's lender or something, that last time I didn't know what was coming, but there was somebody trying to buy a 380 square foot home. Under 400 square feet is hard to finance. And so I got to go out and talk to some non-QM lenders about, on this particular deal, the square footage wasn't the problem. There was other difficulties with financing this place that was the problem. But now I know that you can get an exception. If there's not the other issues, they'll lend on something at 385 square feet as long as everything else pencils for them. And so that's the cool part about Friday, Mike. Yep. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be interesting stuff. And I couldn't think of these questions on my own if I tried. So bring whatever questions you have. Know that I'm going to give you honest feedback of, I've seen it. I think this is what I would do if I was you. Or, man, that's a great new one. I don't know, but I know who to talk to. After, thousands of deals, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to talk to Home Express. I'm going to talk to Angel Oak. They have a debt service coverage ratio loan. It probably works for this. So I'm excited because I'm going to learn for sure.
Awesome.
I'm going to learn new things.
I love it. I appreciate you doing this once a month. The community appreciates it. Bring your deals, ask your questions. Part of school, join school. Matt, where can people find you?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com. We're licensed in 48 states. We're, encouraging people to do the work. Part of doing the work is the pre-approval. A lot of folks get caught up with a hard credit pull, Mike. We're doing just a soft credit pull because for most people, the soft credit pull tells us enough. We can take a look at your situation. Even if you're 6, 9, 12 months out, you want to know what the numbers look like. Like that's helping guide you in the market when you're thinking about, like, how much can I pay for this property? Or maybe I should try to structure the deal, with credit to buy it down, 1.0 buy down. If you don't know the terms, if you don't know what you qualify for, like, you're operating blind. Don't do that. Get your finances squared away. Greatmortgagebroker.com will help you out and help you on that journey. Then go out and start putting deals together, start thinking about, what you can offer and what markets.
I love it. I love it. Matt, thank you so much. Thank you for being here each and every week. You are amazing. Take care.
Thanks, Mike.